morning. Welcome to the News Hour with me, William Bart. And now Iran is saying that the U.S. is complicit. Oh, before that, I got to get into Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran, and they blamed Israel for the attack. I'm sorry for the dogs barking, but what am I going to do about it? Iran says Hamas leader was assassinated in Tehran. Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister Mikhail Bogdanov stated that Ismail Haniyeh's assassination could lead to a larger regional conflict, calling it absolutely unacceptable. The Kremlin condemned the killing and noted Hamas vowed that the action would not go unanswered. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned of severe punishment for Israel in response to Haniyeh's death. Now, I wasn't able to find the thing about this thing right here, Iran accusing U.S. of being complicit, but let's jump into the news. Smash that like button if you haven't already, and subscribe and tick the bell if you want to see more. That's about the only way you can support me right now. I need my view time. So I've got lined up for you today a left wing, a moderate, and a right wing news coverage of this, all U.S. So we've got Huffington Post. What is this? BBC and New York Post. I don't think BBC is really moderate. They tend to lean more towards the left. But let's see this. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed by an airstrike in the Iranian capital, Iran, and the militant group said early Wednesday. This might be the globalist play at getting us wrapped up in World War III before Donald Trump's presidency can take effect. But yeah, they don't want him having anything good happen for him. It's really it's annoying, it's terrible, and it's evil. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed by a pre-dawn airstrike in the Iranian capital Wednesday, Iran and the militant group said, blaming Israel for a shock assassination that risks escalating the conflict, even as the U.S. and other nations were scrambling to prevent an all-out regional war. Iran's supreme leader vowed revenge against Israel. There was no immediate comment from Israel, which has pledged to kill Haniyeh and other Hamas leaders over the group's October 7th attack on southern Israel. The strike came just after Haniyeh had attended the inauguration of Iran's new president in Tehran, and only hours after Israel targeted a top commander in Iran's ally Hezbollah in the Lebanese capital Beirut. The assassination of Hamas's top political leader was potentially explosive amid the region's volatile, intertwined conflicts. Because of its target, its timing, and the decision to carry it out in Tehran, most dangerous was the potential to push Iran and Israel into direct confrontation if Iran retaliates. We consider his revenge as our duty, Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said in a statement on his official website. He said Israel had prepared a harsh punishment for itself by killing a dear guest in our home. Bitter regional rivals Israel and Iran risked plunging into war earlier this year when Israel hit Iran's embassy in Damascus in April. Iran retaliated and Israel countered in an unprecedented exchange of strikes on each other's soil. But international efforts succeeded in containing that cycle before it spun out of control. Haniyeh's killing could also prompt Hamas to pull out of negotiations for a ceasefire and hostage release deal in the 10-month-old war in Gaza, which U.S. mediators had said were making progress. And it could inflame already heightening tensions between Israel and Hezbollah, which international diplomats were trying to contain after a weekend rocket attack that killed 12 young people in the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights. Tuesday evening, Israel called out a rare strike in the Lebanese capital that it said had killed a top Hezbollah commander, allegedly behind the rocket strike. Hezbollah, which denied any role in the Golan strike, said Wednesday that it was still searching for the body of Fouad Shukr, in the rubble of the building that was hit in a Beirut suburb, killing 2 women and 2 children, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. There was no immediate reaction from the White House to the killing of Haniyeh. A key question was whether Israel told its top ally, the U.S., ahead of time about the strike. Asked about Haniyeh's killing during a visit to Singapore, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said, "This is something we were not aware of or involved in." Speaking to Channel News Asia, Blinken said he would not speculate about the impact on ceasefire efforts, but I can tell you that the imperative of getting a ceasefire, the importance that has for everyone, remains. In Manila, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said he still had hopes for a diplomatic solution on the Israeli-Lebanon border. "I don't think that war is inevitable," he said. "I maintain that I think there's always room and opportunity for diplomacy." But international diplomats trying to diffuse tensions were alarmed. One Western diplomat, whose country has worked to prevent an Israeli-Hezbollah escalation, said the double strikes in Beirut and Tehran have almost killed hopes for a Gaza ceasefire and could push the Middle East into a devastating regional war. The diplomat spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive situation. And I want to just throw this out there again. One of my favorite things, well, I'll say two. Two of my favorite things about Donald Trump's presidency were no new wars and the Abraham Accords, those Middle East peace deals, getting Israel involved economically with neighboring countries. That was amazing. So we'll move on to the quote-unquote moderate news coverage from BBC. I just chose them because they're BBC. And actually, they're not US, they're UK based. Hamas political leader, yeah. Hamas says its political leader has been killed in an Israeli airstrike. According to the Iranian media, an airstrike hit a building for war veterans in Tehran where Haniyeh was staying around 0200, which is 10:30 Greenwich Mean Time. I think it's mean time. Haniyeh, 62, was widely considered Hamas's overall leader and played a key role in negotiations aimed at reaching a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Israel has not commented, but has promised to destroy Hamas following the October 7th attack on southern Israel, which killed 1,200 people. On Wednesday, the Israeli government's press offices posted a photo of Haniyeh on social media, captioned with the word "eliminated," which it has subsequently deleted. According to Hamas, Haniyeh was in Tehran to take part of the inauguration ceremony of the new Iranian president, Masoud Pezeshkian, who was sworn in on Tuesday. His death could now delay efforts to bring about a ceasefire in Gaza, as he was a critical interlocutor in the negotiations brokered by Qatar, the U.S., and Egypt. Several countries, including Iraq, Turkey, Russia, and Qatar, have condemned... Oh, yeah. I'm saying that wrong. It's not Qatar, it's Qatar. My bad. Sorry. Have condemned the attack. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the assassination was something we were not aware of or involved in. Yeah, we heard that. I think it's suspicious, and they're spinning wheels trying to push some new war before Donald Trump gets in. That's my initial suspicion about this whole thing. I don't think this is what do you call it, natural, you know, this happening now in the election season. It's just weird. New York Post, this is our right-wing news source. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh killed in Tehran by Israeli airstrike as Iran's supreme leader vows revenge, terror group says. See, at least they're framing this the way it should be framed. Hamas is a terror group, and Iran supports them. Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Iran by what the terror group said was an airstrike carried out by Israel early Wednesday, as Iran's supreme leader has vowed revenge. I think this is that swearing in ceremony. I greet you and I welcome you to the victory.
پس از استوار کردن و سوگندهای خود وفا کنید و سوگندهای خود را پس از استوار کردن آنها
We're going to defend our homeland. What did he say?
های خود را پس از استوار کردن آنها مشکنید.
After the escalation they've committed.
با اینکه خدا بر خود ضامن و گواه
انسانیت قرار خواهد داشت. متاسفانه تنزایی
Insaniyet. I forgot what that word means.
و تروریسم دولتی و جنایت علیه بشریت در سرزمین‌های فلسطین توسط رژیم اشغالگر قدس در نهایت بیرحمی در حال انجام است.
Rahmi is mercy. Let me listen to that one more time.
زمین‌های فلسطین توسط رژیم اشغالگر قدس در نهایت بیرحمی در حال انجام است.
Yeah, so they're saying something about a final without mercy, or a nehayat is like the end or final of something. Anyways, enough about that. I kind of understand Farsi. I haven't been practicing as much these days. Haniyeh, who was one of the Hamas's most senior officials, was in Tehran to attend the inauguration ceremony of Iran's new president when he was killed, Iran's Revolutionary Guard announced. The Revolutionary Guard did not comment on who killed Haniyeh or how, but Hamas pointed the finger at Israel, stating that its leader was killed in a Zionist airstrike on his residence in Tehran after he participated in the inauguration of Iran's new president. Hamas declares to the great Palestinian people and the people of the Arab and Islamic nations and all the free people of the world, brother leader Ismail Haniyeh is a martyr. The brief statement read. They like using that word whenever somebody gets killed. They're very much wrapped up in the honor of death. Israel has not commented on Haniyeh's death. Iran's Revolutionary Guard also said Haniyeh was killed at his Tehran residence. Earlier this morning, the residence of Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran was struck, resulting in his and one of his bodyguards' martyrdom. And by that, they mean they were killed. The cause is under investigation and will be announced soon, the Revolutionary Guard said. So when they say they were literally brought to martyrdom, it's kind of like they're giving honor and credence to the dead. So far, no one has come forward to claim responsibility for the killing, though Israel has vowed to eliminate Haniyeh and other Hamas leaders following the terror group's October 7th attack on the Jewish state, in which 1,200 people were slaughtered and 250 were kidnapped. Ismail Haniyeh, one of the most senior Hamas officials, was killed in Iran by alleged airstrike carried out by Israel at his Tehran residence on July 31st, according to Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Haniyeh was in Tehran to attend the inauguration. Yeah, we know that. Born in then Egyptian-occupied Gaza Strip in 1963, Haniyeh has been a prominent member of Hamas since the 1980s, and in 1989 spent 3 years imprisoned by Israel during the first Palestinian uprising. Upon his return to Gaza in 1997, after spending years in exile with other Hamas leaders, Haniyeh was appointed leader and president of the political bureau of Hamas, solidifying his influence and power within the organization. In 2006, President Mahmoud Abbas appointed Haniyeh as Palestinian prime minister after Hamas won the most seats in national elections. He was then elected head of Hamas's political bureau in 2017 and was widely considered Hamas's overall leader until his death. Before the killing, Israel vowed to eliminate Haniyeh and other Hamas leaders following the terror the terror group's October 7th attack on the Jewish state, where 1,200 people were killed. An Israeli airstrike killed 3 of Haniyeh's sons and 4 of his grandchildren, who were traveling in a car through Gaza's Shati refugee camp to visit family on the first day of the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Fitr in April 2024. So it's all looking like things are going to escalate before Donald Trump can get in, and I believe that was part of the plan. As far as Antony Blinken saying that he was not aware and the U.S. had nothing to do with it, I find that statement very suspect, as a politician style lie. I think the U.S. was involved, but what do I know? I'm not an intelligence. All I do is comment on the news and opinionate. Opine. But that's about it for now. I hope you liked this little bit of Middle East coverage I've given you. This kind of story is close to home for me because I worked on Iran stuff when I was in the military, in the Air Force. So I know a little bit about their history. Very violent and bloody history over there. But anyways, that's about it. Please like, share, and follow. Share my videos with your friends. Ask them if they think that I'm doing a good job over here, and maybe we'll keep a little community growing. We'll see. But anyways, whatever you do, don't have a bad day, and I'll catch you later. Ciao.